Hello and welcome to Culture Shock, the pop culture podcast brought to you by four aging millennials and their outdated opinions. I'm your host, Doug, and with me today is...
Hey, my name is Cloud Strife, and I'll take the luxury massage. I'm Adrian.
But tell me, are these stairs ever going to end? And I'm Mike.
Now, I just have one question for you guys. What the hell is a Final Fantasy, and why the hell are there 7 of them? Stop trying to do it. We can't.
No, that was close. That was actually. Damn
it,
that's every time.
On me.
Red wine.
Red 13.
Oh, shit, nice. How'd I miss that one?
Tifa fucks.
Oh, for sure.
With that luxury massage, right?
Right. Every night when I go to sleep.
In my dreams.
Right.
Oh, wait, you don't have a Tifa doll?
Is it Tifa or is it Tifa?
It's Tifa.
It's whatever you want to say it as.
No. There's voice acting. It's Tifa.
Well, there wasn't voice acting in 1997, so
That's
whatever
true.
you want to say.
But we're talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake where there was voice acting.
All right, so as you may have noticed, there's a specific person not here today. Let's see if you guys can figure out who. Anyway.
And the entire crowd cheers. Woo!
First, we got to give him credit. First episode missed.
Yeah,
Slacker.
fucking like episode 50.
He's got to be like the rest of us and miss a couple, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So let's lead with Corey. Corey, what were your thoughts on the remake?
Good thoughts, Corey.
Classic joke.
I'll have to consider the points you made.
Anyway, if you guys haven't caught on, today we're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know it's just kind of out of nowhere, but we finally all have played it, I being the one that put it off the longest.
Damn it,
and
Doug.
we're ready to discuss it.
Yeah. On that note, Doug, can I kind of lead off here with...
Please, go for it.
You already made mention that you were the last to play it. I think we can all confidently say, including Corey not being here, that you are by far the biggest fan of the original. Mike, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree.
No, I mean, I love the game, but I think Doug has us beat by a lot.
Original FF7?
Yeah, the original.
I've played it. I used to play it every year, fully complete it once a year. It was me and my buddies, like a summer vacation, like ritual. Like as soon as school let out for the year, that was the first thing we did. Is
Right.
100% Final Fantasy 7.
So how many hours do you think you have into the game?
Thousands.
Thousands?
More than we do have hours of record time.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have it. I own it on my PS3. I own a physical copy. I own it on Steam. I own it on my Switch. Like,
so pretty much, yeah, Doug likes the original Final Fantasy VII.
It's top 5 material, I'd say.
Or you mean top 5 materia?
Nice.
But
So this is a direct
comedy.
quote from Child Doug. Final Fantasy VII fucks.
I'll never
It's
forget.
funny because I didn't swear till I was 16.
Whoa, those were
Oh,
Doug's
really?
first words, and the game wasn't
Yeah.
even around then.
Oh yeah, Mike. I was like a really good kid who wouldn't do anything wrong. I couldn't even lie to people. It was impossible.
But you told everybody that Santa wasn't real, you monster, when you were in
Yeah.
kindergarten.
Because I was just honest,
Well, yeah, that kind of proves to Doug's point. He's honest.
and I told him Jesus wasn't real either. But
Well, yeah, that's true as well.
I'm just keeping that in. I'm not even deleting that.
Jesus, if you're real, kill me right now.
Adrian? Adrian.
No, okay, so Doug, with you clearly being the biggest fan of the original game, I think you've already probably talked with us about this off the podcast. So what were kind of your expectations going into this remake, and what took you so damn long to play it?
oh, that's such a good question. Let me think just for a second. All right, so more or less, my expectations of the game, like they were incredibly high. Like I was expecting, well, so the director Tetsuya Nomura, to go back to,
Mhm.
he years ago, before this game was even like put into the gears even started turning that it was being remade or anything.
Right.
He said in an interview that if he ever got the chance before he retired, his last work he would ever want to do was another chance to redo FF7 because he considered his swan song like his masterpiece. But he felt like there was things left unsaid and things he didn't get to do with it that he wished he could. So he wanted another crack at it if he ever got the chance.
Was that a product of he just didn't think of it at the time, or the technology wasn't there at the time, or
kind of both? Like he was a lot younger, obviously. His career was a little fresher. It was like one of his big first big rules in the director chair for games.
So do you think that's why there's the addition of the whispers in this then?
Well, we'll get to those.
We'll get to that. 'Cause there's a lot I have to say about that.
That'll be a big talking point.
But with that being said, so I like that there when they finally announced the game, I was like, I knew this was coming one day because I had read that interview years prior, and I was always hesitant because I'm like, how much is he gonna change? What's he gonna change? Because I know it wouldn't just. Part of me wanted it to just be the same game, just with a fresh coat of paint.
As I feel a lot of people did.
Exactly. But when you change something that's so near and dear to you, you're terrified because any change, butterfly effect style, could just fucking ruin it all.
Yeah, just to his credit, it takes a lot of balls to take one of the most beloved stories ever told and change it.
And just do his will unto it. George Lucas style. This has to have dinosaurs in it. I don't know why, but
it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah. So to say what held me off from playing it was just fear that it wasn't going to live up to my expectations, and it didn't at first. Like I actually played it for a few hours and stopped the first time because like, man, this really just isn't. This ain't doing it for me.
It wasn't it.
Yeah, but I decided to power through, and let's just say I'm glad I did.
Okay, cool. Good starting point. Mike, let's go to you. I was going to ask this around the horn, but since Corey's not here, Mike, what were your expectations going in? What's your experience with the original Final Fantasy VII?
Let me ask this first. Was I the only one that actually played it when it first came out?
I did not play it when it first came out, so you have me beat.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about Corey. Corey, did you? Oh, okay, cool.
Another classic joke from Corey.
Man, Corey's on fire tonight.
So unlike him.
This is the funniest Corey has ever been.
I know.
You know what's great is he's actually going to listen to this.
Yeah. Corey's one of the ones that actually listens, so we're going to take a bunch of shots on here. Hey, Corey, how's your nuts? Mike, that's up to you if you want to keep that up.
Well, he talked about his vasectomy in the last episode, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Snippity snip.
Anyway, my expectations, I saw the trailer, and I'm not even... So, I was talking with a friend, and I saw the trailer, and they were talking, like, did you see the trailer for the remake? I was like, yes. And they're like, how do you feel about it? I was like, it gave me a half chub, I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely.
Like, that was my direct actual quote, so... but... In all honesty, my expectations are pretty high too because the trailer made it look so beautiful. Not having had the experience of playing Final Fantasy VII, the original, until after I played the remake.
Wait,
I think I was we talked about this before.
Oh, you were asking if you were the first one to play the remake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, still you have me beat. I thought you meant the original. I was going to say there's no way you played that before Doug.
No,
I didn't play it. I played the original in like 2001 or 2.
Oh, goddamn!
I would have been too young to even understand it in '97.
That's fair.
I didn't play the original until after I beat the remake, and
oh, that's wild.
Well, yeah, it is wild. I know a lot of people are probably like, "Whoa, what?" But at the same time, I'm kind of glad because I feel like I would have probably been disappointed with the remake as well at first. But because I didn't have the experience of playing the original, I got to approach the remake as a brand new game to me, and
yeah,
like I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Like there wasn't anything about it that really bothered me.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people with that experience. There's honestly a lot of people. This is like their first dive into Final Fantasy VII. I know, like the graphic thing, the turn-based thing. Although we love it, obviously, being such big fans of games that we're fans of, it doesn't hold up for a lot of newer gamers. I know the remake was their first experience into this world, these characters. And a lot of people, those people more than like fans that have the nostalgia with the original, newer people that played the remake first tend to, I think, have less issues with it, and it's understandable why.
See, and don't say I'm not going to say I didn't know anything about Final Fantasy VII because I knew who Cloud was, obviously. Regardless if I knew him because of Kingdom Hearts or before that, even
he has more. He almost has more lines in Kingdom Hearts than he has in the original.
Yeah,
That's true.
I did notice that when I was playing in the Final Fantasy VII original, that he doesn't really talk. So I kind of like that in the remake they gave him, lines. He was still kind of, not like very talkative though, like, which I guess is his character.
Yeah, he's not like the social guy.
He's that like
silent but strong.
Well, yeah, he's like fucking mercenary who only cares about money. Like one of the quotes that I was thinking about using was I think he says, "I should have asked for more money." I was gonna say I should have asked for more money to do this podcast,
which
is funny because we don't get paid.
Yeah, you guys are getting paid. Okay, so let me just say real quick, since I asked the question, I'll answer it. My expectations for this game really... I love Final Fantasy VII. I don't hold it as in high regard as a lot of other people do.
Fuck you.
It's not, I think Doug would agree that we like Final Fantasy X more. I think we all called that like our favorite game or one of our favorite games. I like Final Fantasy VI more. I probably like Final Fantasy IX more.
I can respect that. You're naming off all the best Final Fantasies.
Yeah, so. Those are my favorite. And
I'm not gonna lie, I like 12 more than 7.
That's fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, okay. Doug, things that you won't agree with, products of those times, because I played more of them growing up. I always mention the Breath of Fire 3. I like that over Final Fantasy because I played so much of it.
I'd have to play it to really have that a real opinion on
I know you're going to hate this opinion, but me and Corey both like Legend of the Dragoon more than we like Final Fantasy VII. I know you hate that.
Legend of the Dragoon's unique. And I'll say that.
I might play it today and be like, oh, wow, this is kind of shit.
I mean, Final Fantasy VII is no Chrono Trigger.
Okay, Mike, I'm gonna stop you right there.
No, listen.
As the other Chrono Trigger fanatic, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah, you guys can have this talk if you want to have it.
I mean, you don't have to stop me right there. If fans want to know what we have to say about Chrono Trigger, they just have to go back a couple episodes.
But also, Mike, you grew up with Chrono Trigger, so you have like that. Right. Yeah. You have that nostalgia.
I played it on the SNES before. I probably played them around the same time.
And not to say, just because Doug has played both in his childhood, that doesn't mean he's automatically right. A lot of people call Chrono Trigger the best RPG of all time.
Yeah, it's been named by multiple
this
professionals.
Guy Tony on the internet.
Multiple professionals.
.org.
Number one RPG of all time.
All these organizations like Super List, mylist.com.
No, all right. No, my
IGN.trigger.com.
IGN / we're not paid off.com.
My most respected resource, my most respected
Taylor
source was chronotriggerfansforever.org.
Created by Mike Craig.
Hosted and directed by Mike Craig.
IGN, we gave Pokemon Sword and Shield a 9.3 out of 10.com.
Oh, wow.
That's a true thing.
They were actually, I as someone who owned Sword, it was
Don't say it.
One of the better Pokemon games.
Right, okay, not a 9.3 though.
No,
anyway.
No Pokemon
You're not
game
a
gets a 9.3.
Yeah, anyway, I don't hold Final Fantasy VII in as high esteem as other people do. I don't have as much nostalgia for it. So I really didn't try to have many expectations for the new game. It looked great. How long were we fucking waiting for this game to come out? Didn't they show a trailer for like the PS3 launch or something like that?
That was an engine trailer.
An engine trailer.
But yes, it got the hype train. Like that train, the hype couldn't be stopped after that came out.
The official trailer for the game itself didn't come out until probably like 6 months before its release.
I don't think that's true.
I don't remember. It was within. It was in the same. It was less than a year.
Final Fantasy VII Remake was turning into one of these goddamn Duke Nukem Forever situations. That game took like 14 years to come out.
Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced during Sony's conference at E3 2015.
2015.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
So what? 5 years?
Yeah, because it came out April 2020.
Yeah. So that game was in the making for 5 fucking years.
No, it was in the making.
Okay, yeah. I guess I should have worded it that way. It was announced 5 years prior.
The official trailer
from We Love Chrono Trigger.
was looks like May. That's a teaser trailer. The release date trailer was June 9th, 2019. The final trailer was April 3rd, 2020, which I think is the trailer I was like, okay, I'm going to really love this game.
That's 7 days before the game came out.
Well, that's whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that?
But that's not the first trailer.
Whose fault is that?
Oh, this game that comes out in 7 days? I think I'm really going to like this one. Anyone else heard of it?
What is it? Final
Lionel's Fantasy. What the hell's that?
Lionel Richie's Fantasy.
It's called Final Fantasy VII. There was already 6 of them.
I think we already have a song about Lionel Richie's Fantasy. And in my head, I've kissed your lips. Isn't that his fantasy? Hello.
I think you know more Lionel Richie than
Is it me you're looking for?
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, maybe you both know more.
Dog, you know that song.
Lionel Richie. Yeah, but like I can't just think of it off the top of my head.
I sometimes see you walk.
Now that you're singing, it's like
hello. Yeah, see, that's our theme song, Doug. You should know it. There it is. That old Culture Shock classic. Talking away.
Your peace.
Eat your piece.
That's what I sing to my kids.
We are the world.
All right, so Mike, since you were talking about Cloud, like the character development of having this game, I'm gonna jump into one of my positives. One of the things I think this game does better than the original: character development. I love the characters in this game. Obviously, you have limitations with like text box fucking JRPG developing characters. I think the original still did a great job with that. But even just in this little Midgar section of Cloud, I think he showed a lot of fucking character development. We get more focus on Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, who were essentially throwaway characters in the original game.
Which I am a fan.
Can I take
of
a
that.
second to talk about something you just mentioned?
I just want to say real quick, I didn't even know in the original game that Jesse was a female character, like for a couple hours in the game.
It's funny that I agree. I'm right there with you. Like I could never tell either, but I think that's just a product of the horrible 3D polygons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like you could barely tell Tifa was her.
You mean the game that was originally meant for Nintendo 64?
Doug, Tifa was hot as hell in the original Final
If you
Fantasy
say
VII.
otherwise, I'll kill you.
Doug, you didn't you say that like Sony and Nintendo were working on like a system together?
Yeah, it was actually supposed to be called the Nintendo PlayStation. But at the last second, Nintendo backed out because they didn't want to do disc-based consoles. They thought it wouldn't be the future.
Mistake.
And yet they're the ones that came up with the small discs. Those pieces of shit.
And Mike hates
Why do you hate-
small discs.
Yeah, but essentially, and the reason why FF7 couldn't be made on the 64 is because of the space limitations of the cartridges were limited the game too much, so they had to break their ties with Nintendo.
You know, it's ironic that Mike hates small discs because he has such a small disc. Doug?
Anyway, there's something you mentioned about characterization through the text boxes and whatnot.
Yeah.
I can't really. This is one thing that I'll say about like because I'm not going to sit here and be like classic games are better, blah blah blah. I do believe there are aspects of classic gaming that is better, and that's mostly comes out in gameplay. And personally, because I feel like modern games, especially those made by Santa Monica Studios, have this sameness to them where there's like it's just the same game with a different coat of paint
with a different skin on it.
Yeah, and it's like, how many times are you gonna make this game, guys?
Right.
It's like my biggest complaint with modern games.
No, I agree to an extent. Yeah.
One thing I think JRPG style games in general do benefit from modernness the most because of voice acting and just cutscenes, high quality cutscenes. Like a lot of games a lot of people complain about too many cutscenes in a game, but a JRPG is basically an interactive book.
Yeah,
it's like a choose your own adventure book almost.
It's like a genre made for cutscenes.
Exactly, and so like being able to like really take the time to tell stories through them is really important. There's definitely a fine balance that needs to be had between gameplay and that, which I feel like this game struggles with a little, where there's oftentimes not enough gameplay in between.
This game definitely felt like you're watching a movie sometimes.
Well, and another thing they do, I'm actually an advocate for this game. I wish there are moments that actually had more cutscenes, because what they'll do is you'll be running and they'll slow your characters down to like a snail pace just so they can put in like dialogue.
Every time you're like crawling against a wall, it's like shuffle, shuffle. And then you look back, it's like, Tifa couldn't have got through there.
Bastards. On that note, like, JRPGs and like that kind of dialogue, what I liked about this game, that kind of JRPG, some of the dialogue to me, it feels too... Same reason I probably don't like get on board with a lot of animes, although I haven't given...
Did you say probably?
Probably. No, the reason I probably don't get on with a lot of animes, even though I haven't given a lot of them a chance, some of the dialogue sometimes it's a little bit... It's like over the top, it's cringy kind of, like the Japanese...
You mean like when they're just about they're having like a normal conversation and the character's just like, but you stole my pudding cup.
And then they're like,
that's what makes anime great.
Like, what?
And
why are you
it's not how
why are you
Japanese
talking like
people
this?
really talk. You know that, right?
well, no, I know that. But I'm saying the way...
Why are you talking like that?
And then they're like, ha ha, oh, ha ha ha, ha. Which they also do with Dragon Ball Z, but I grew up with that. So.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But no, what I'm saying is this game, I think, does it better. There are like cheesy moments, but it's never to a point where I'm like, ew, this is uncomfortable. Like, it all works for me.
When I was younger, I actually used to struggle with scenes like that when they were so cringy. I had to like pause and walk away for a minute and like.
And I think that's how I still feel.
Yeah, I get like that with movies too. Like when something's a little like too over the top or cringy, I like have to pause, especially if like I'm like when I'm alone watching them. It's when I do it. When I'm with other people, I can just let it roll. It's like the opposite of what you'd think.
Right.
It's like, oh,
so you don't get like the secondhand embarrassment when you're around people. It's just when you're by yourself watching something.
No, because I've noticed that they don't get it. So it's like, I'd be stupid if I did.
Well, clearly, this is not as bad as I think it is.
But when I'm alone, man, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I feel embarrassed. Why am I watching?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things is that with the voice acting in this game has kind of brought a really cool aspect with is the banter between Barrett and Cloud.
Oh, yeah.
They cranked Barrett's character up to 11 in this game.
And I fucking love it. Like, Barrett's probably one of my favorite characters.
I mean, as he should be.
He said, yeah.
And I love that when you finish a battle sometimes, he does the little like fanfare, because you don't get that anymore like you would have in the original game.
Can we talk about that, actually? How the ending of a battle just kind of rolls right along with what you were doing, and there's no like music afterwards or awesome battle music that kicks in. Or
as a fan of which we've already talked about Chrono Trigger, I am actually more of a fan of the style of you actually like the character, the enemies already being on the screen and like it just continuing to roll with what you're doing, and it doesn't really interrupt any of your shit. Like I like that a lot more.
You don't like just like the open world and then it
glass
like
shatters.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. Like, I mean, of course, don't get me wrong. It happened in Pokemon. It happens in all the Final Fantasy games. Like it's a classic
Cloud of the random battle.
It's a classic JRPG trope. But I'm currently dabbling a little bit in Super Mario RPG, and it doesn't. It kind of does. It's a mix of it, you can run into the enemies, but
and then
as soon as you do, then it takes you to a different battle screen.
See, I think it all depends on the game. Like in Chrono Trigger, I love the smooth streamline from battle, like world to battle. But the thing it does differently is when you go into the battle, like the battle music kicks in, and
that's true.
You're in the battle. Like this game, it's more of an action game, so it just kind of like keeps rolling. You don't get like that fucking battle mode initiate.
Some battle music would have at least been a nice touch.
FF7 has some of the most fucking like beloved like music of any like JRPG of all like most video games. Right. Like iconic. Mike,
I know, I'm just kidding with you.
You could choke on it, okay?
Now, although you don't always get like the battle sequence music and stuff in here, I still think the soundtrack for this game is really fucking good.
Oh yeah, it's bumping.
For the remake.
Oh yeah, it's bumping. It's just that's just one of those things of like the nostalgia of classic JRPGs.
Absolutely.
Like at FF9, 6, all of the ones that you named all do that. Like the battle starts, battle music initiates, boss battle music.
Yeah, it just gets you fucking pumped.
Yeah, it's like
That's a great one, by the way.
Or
Yeah.
depending on where you're trying to get to, it also gets you annoyed. Like,
No.
oh fuck, here we go again.
When you're hearing it for the 10th time in a row, fuck.
It still fucks.
This song
200 hours later. I'm not even playing the game anymore. This is just on my playlist.
Right. You're just on your way to work.
You got to get yourself pumped for work, right?
Oh, dude, when the wrong customer walks in, I might have to turn on the battle music.
You're driving to work like, wait, this song kind of goes with those police sirens. Oh, wait, that's for me.
I can just picture Doug standing behind a counter, taking somebody's order, and fucking they're being ridiculous. And I don't know, he just reaches for his phone. They're like, "What are you doing?" Like, just hold on a minute.
Give me 1 second.
All right, I'm about to fuck you up.
Cops pulling you over, knocking on your window. You're like, yeah, this goes with the beat. Mike, we should have done that when you were my boss at Quickfill and we played. Do you remember when we played the music like out? We used to hold in the speaker button for like when we changed the signs outside or check the oil or whatever. We'd hold down the button and play music on our phone and just like play it outside.
Adrian and I fucked with each other so much. I really wasn't his boss, only by title.
Just by title. We were just a couple of fucks playing with selfie sticks. Oh yeah, we did that.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
They were there. You know?
They were there, and I was like, I will never own one of these. So like, I think they're the stupidest things.
You seem like the exact person who would own one. Like,
to be fair, he does.
That's what Adrian said.
like,
too,
why wouldn't you just get one? Or are you just being difficult?
Because they're $20. It's a waste of money,
dude. Just get a stick and tape your phone.
Exactly.
Right. If we did a live show and we had our name with like a fact below us, Mike should say like Mike Craig owns a selfie stick.
Selfie stick owner.
It's like this music's going way too hard for our introduction.
Someday we'll do a live show.
Someday. And Corey will be there, right, Corey?
Would at least 7 of you show up so we can talk about Final Fantasy?
Yeah. Corey, will you be there for our live show? Sweet. Awesome.
Damn it, Corey. You're killing it tonight.
We're going to Germany, boys. We're doing a live show with our listener.
Oh, yeah. That guy has listened to like every episode. Whoever you are, you're a hero.
Salute you.
We love you. Salute.
It's Doug using a VPN.
Damn it. You guys found out.
What?
Nothing.
He said nothing.
Doug's all of our foreign listeners.
How crazy? You think I'm that committed? Come on.
Yeah, right. That's
you're
true.
committed to the bit.
Doug doesn't even listen to our podcast like with his own.
I've never listened. I have never sat down and listened to a single episode. But Doug from Germany, he's listened to them all.
Since we're talking about the battle music, let's get into a big point in this game here.
Yes.
What did you think of the battle system? You know, did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you mixed on it? Do you like the real-time strategy, mixed like turn-based / action live? Like, what were your thoughts on that?
I liked it, but at times it got repetitive, and there just wasn't enough combat in the game overall to flesh it out for me. Like, that is probably my biggest black mark against this game is the lack of actual combat. There is so little.
I would agree.
There isn't enough time, and I'm someone who loves like taking the time to really master combat systems and gameplay mechanics and like find ways to do it really cool. And there just wasn't enough. I still didn't even feel like I had a full grasp by the end of the game on the combat. Like I feel like there was more to explore, but I didn't get the opportunity to.
What this game does so well is like it's 75-80% world building, character building, exploring. What suffers because of that is unfortunately, like you said, the combat. I agree that there's not nearly enough combat. And maybe as they go forward, the thing is there's still so much story to tell.
Have you guys played the Yuffie DLC?
No, I have not.
I haven't.
All right. Straight away, it felt like a lot of my like, you know how like there was always those points where when you were moving throughout the world, you'd had to like slow down and crawl on the wall and all these like weird things. And like Yuffie moves like fucking lightning through these fucking world.
Oh, really?
And she's like hopping over and doing ninja flips over things, like running.
Yeah, Yuffie's a badass.
She ain't taking. She doesn't. There was none of that, and then there was more combat. Like there were less like just run periods between cutscenes and more fights between scenes in
Okay.
this DLC. And her combat was the best in the game, hands down.
Of any character.
Yeah, hands down. She had 2 major boss fights, and they were new characters, so I won't spoil anything.
Okay.
But her final character fight was the best fight in the entire game. Her final boss fight was the best fight in the entire game.
Damn.
Yeah, like it was. So I already think they understood that when they already. So
Did she fight Red 13?
I wish I had a chance to kill Red 13. I mean, fight Red 13.
It was Nero and Faro, right?
Nero and Far, wherever you are. God damn it! Was that a joke on our last Final Fantasy 13 or 7?
Yeah. That was because Doug did tell us the name.
Yeah, I'm not going to
right.
tell you now, but I believe Nero was one of them.
Yeah, that's why he didn't remember the other name. That's why he kept saying Faro. And
Nero.
Like, no, damn it.
It was Nero and Automata.
Near Automata.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going for.
Okay, Yuko Taro is a totally different breed of human being, so let's not even get into his territory.
Mike, what are your thoughts on the combat in the game?
It was pretty cute.
It's pretty
I
cute.
know.
Okay, Mike, as being potentially the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan out of us, maybe. I'm also a big fan of the. Here comes Doug.
I've been playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 again lately, and I have to say it just does not hold up.
Oh, really?
No,
Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't?
Yeah, I think 1 actually holds up better.
Well, 1 was a much harder game. 2, they dumbed it down a lot.
That's not even it.
Well, I'm just saying that 2 did get dumbed down a lot for people to be able to beat it a lot easier. I think 2 is way easier than 1.
2 is an easier
and
game.
then 3's just a movie. Anyway,
see, 2 has the signs of what 3 became. Like every fight boils down to how much triangle do you get to mash for the special fight.
So 2 is kind of leading you that way, like
yeah, because
it
I've
started
heard about
the problems.
3, where 3 is literally like every fight is just a cutscene.
That's probably why Doug realized how bad 2. Like, I don't think 2 is a bad game, but I agree, it probably doesn't hold up.
Like I'm sitting there like playing through it, and I'm like, something like this isn't fun. What is wrong here? Like this shouldn't be right.
It's too easy.
Plus, Sanctuary sucks dick compared to Simple and Clean.
How
it's not
you?
even
I
close.
like Sanctuary.
Simple and Clean
Simple
is so
and Clean
much better.
is so much better.
Yeah,
I mean, I like both of them, but come on,
and don't
get your
get me
head
started
around
on the third one with fucking Skrillex.
Oh
this.
God,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Uh-oh.
All right, Mike.
Okay.
I didn't want to lead you.
Yeah,
I didn't want to lead you
back
down a
to it.
path of it's like similar to Kingdom Hearts.
Leading the witness.
Yeah, leading the witness. Sustained. I'm just saying, as maybe the biggest
Lawyer.
Kingdom Hearts fan, did you get any similar vibes here, or what'd you think of this combat system?
God, no.
Not at all?
Not really. It was still turn-based for the most part. Like it's
Turn-based,
definitely-
real time.
There's a lot more strategy involved with it than there would have been in, say, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts, you basically button mash like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I would agree.
It's just
What, you
I
don't
enjoyed
short
it.
hop, quick 2 air hits, land into full combo.
Yeah, but that's easy to like. It's a lot easier to beat enemies in Kingdom Hearts. You don't have to like think too hard about it.
Yeah, you have to push triangle when the box appears on the screen to push triangle, and you do some god move that you don't know.
What I love about almost every JRPG is you have to figure out what the weakness is of the enemy. You have to like take. And I actually do enjoy that you didn't have time. Like everything was happening in real time. So if you hesitated, you were going to get attacked again, which is another thing that I think one of my favorite games of all time did. Anyway, no, I like that aspect a lot more. I don't like the direction that they're taking the battle systems with Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy 15. I do not care for that that fight system at all.
Yeah,
I actually haven't played that game.
It's way too much like Kingdom Hearts for me.
It's almost like there's a specific guy in charge of it. Who could that be?
Yeah.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
I like it in Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts to me isn't meant to be like this serious, well thought out, like gameplay type game. The story's amazing. Like you play Kingdom Hearts for the story. You don't play it for the gameplay.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck's going on with Kingdom Hearts story.
Is the light.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 had a great story. 3 can go jump off a cliff.
1 had a great story.
Dougson 1 had a great story.
Well, and not to mention their story is so fucking convoluted with all the extra bullshit games they have on the side.
You have to understand them to even know what's going on.
Listen,
anymore.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts has a convoluted story. If you go to YouTube and put in Kingdom Hearts story, the first like 10 videos are the Kingdom Hearts story isn't that complicated. It's people defending.
See, I watched a video similar where and Doug's mad at me for doing this. I watched a video where I tried to connect Chrono Cross to Chrono Trigger because everybody that I talked to said it doesn't really connect at all. So
it does. It's just really fucking complicated.
Exactly.
I can explain it, but you need to play it first.
So you probably find a bunch of videos on YouTube for that too. Chrono Cross isn't that complicated.
It is. I hate people that underplay shit like that because they're fans of it. No, as a fan of it, you should accept those things about it.
So if you look up complicated, it'll say Kingdom Hearts story isn't that complicated. Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger isn't that complicated. And then number 3 will be Avril Lavigne complicated.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's so complicated.
Didn't you know she was actually singing that song about those games?
Yeah, somebody had to have made a parody video of her singing that while like showing Kingdom Hearts. Why'd you have to go?
Make things so complicated. Whoa.
Oh, this isn't super off topic. You know, we're talking about Square games, so
it's complicated.
It's
you know,
fine. Yeah, it's complicated.
The thing is, it's complicated.
What would you say, Corey? Are things so complicated? Speechless, huh?
Speechless again. Corey's really providing nothing to this episode.
Corey's reminding me a lot of, your main protagonist of a lot of art JRPGs.
Not saying
voiceless.
Anything. Voiceless. ...
One of my I know you guys probably aren't really big Reddit users. I'm not really anymore. But back in the day, my highest upvoted comment of all time was in a thread about Pokemon where someone was like, hey, 12-year-old kid, can you go collect these 12 things and kill this guy for me? I was like that, and I responded with ... and it just got upvoted.
That's awesome.
I was like, God damn it.
Doug got some fucking karma for that one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? This is my highest rated comment. ...
But hey, masterfully done.
Yeah.
No, but Mike, I would tend to agree with you as far as like the strategies involved. Definitely like a new level of strategy you have to put into this game. I like the ATB system. Of course, that's not a new thing. They had that. But I do like how things slow down when you're trying to figure out casting spells and doing special attacks.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Switching from character to character is really cool.
Yeah.
I like how unique.
You guys switch characters.
You guys are
Tifa, man. That was
I love Tifa. She's my favorite.
Tifa fucks.
She was my favorite until I got to use Yuffie in the DLC. I was like, God damn it, Yuffie's my favorite to play.
To be fair, yeah, I don't know the magic that is Yuffie in the new world, but
dude.
Is she?
She's fucking absurd.
No, but Tifa was my favorite in game as well. In the main game, like just a good fucking
fun.
Just a good beat 'em up, staggering enemies.
I thought Red 13 was your favorite.
Well, Red 13 transcends all these characters.
Okay, I'm going to talk about Red 13 for a second. How fucking annoying was it that they put him in the game, but not as a full usable character?
Yeah, I hated that.
He was like an AI, and you couldn't interact with his gear or anything.
I'm okay with that, because
they shouldn't even put him in the game yet.
Yeah, why put him in the?
Why put him in the game? Do you know about the story of the son of Sato Nanaki?
Yeah, nobody cares.
Oh, fuck you.
Listen here, Mr. fucking Chrono Trigger. Okay. There's probably some obscure fucking character in Chrono Trigger that most people couldn't give a shit about, but you love.
It's one of the main 3, Luca.
It's true.
Yeah, fuck Luca. That's just a city in Final Fantasy X.
Hey, Luca's just
Luca's just Bulma.
Yeah, Luca's just a better version of Bulma because she's
really?
smarter.
She's literally Bulma.
She's smarter than Bulma?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, she does make a time gate. Well, wait, Bulma made a time cap.
Yeah, Mike, who's smarter? I think they're the same character.
They're the same character.
What came out first?
Dragon Ball.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
So Chrono Trigger's just a big fucking ripoff.
Well, Akira Toriyama did the character designs for both. So.
Oh, god damn it.
It's not a ripoff, it's just a copy.
It's just a copy.
Yeah, Akira Toriyama did the art for Chrono Trigger.
Oh damn!
Yeah, he designed all the characters.
That's
and
why.
everything.
That's why they all.
That's why they have the spiky hair.
That's why they all look like Dragon Ball characters.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Tifa is definitely my favorite to use. I love.
She was my favorite to use, favorite to look at, favorite to hear talk, favorite to see in cutscenes.
Can I just say, like, I've never understood the video game crush thing that people have. Like, I've never got that
until Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Until I fucking saw Tifa. And like, you know, she's cool personality. I love that this game made some fucking strong female lead, non-annoying characters.
Jessie, Aerith, and Tifa were all great female characters.
Yeah. And I love how fucking Aerith and Tifa both. I'm getting ready to say Tifa now.
Say it however you want. Not like that. If you say it like that, I'll delete. I love how
Aerith and Titus. No, but I love how Aerith and Tifa. They both obviously are fucking attracted to Cloud because everybody in this game is.
Well, dude, in the original, there's a love triangle, right?
Oh, of course. But I love how there's no like cattiness between them. There's no like hate or shit talking. Like they actually become friends, even though they both fucking love Cloud.
All right. Let me ask you guys this: if you had to pick one for Cloud to be with,
I thought you were talking about me.
Oh,
we're both like Tifa.
Would it be Tifa or Aerith? Because I know, for some weird reason, a lot of people pick Aerith, and I don't know why. Because I think he'd be way better than Tifa.
No, I think if you played the original game, Aerith makes a lot of sense.
Fuck that.
I picked Tifa for me.
Hey, Cloud can have Aerith.
Yeah. Perfect. See, this is why everybody picks Cloud to have Aerith. Because they want Tifa for this.
Because then Tifa needs someone. Red 13 can't do it.
Jesse's dead.
Jesse's dead. Or is she?
Okay, so I do have one small complaint with the characterization. Is they took some of Tifa's personality from the original game and gave it to Jessie.
Agreed. Just to give her character.
Yeah, but I like Jessie in the remake. She was really cool.
That's what I'm saying. It's like all of her like fucking like in your face attitude. That was all Tifa back in the day.
Yeah,
she was
absolutely.
Super thirsty for Cloud though.
Oh, Jessie was the thirstiest.
Why don't you come over for some pizza?
Every time she followed Cloud, she left a snail trail.
God damn.
Jessie was hot to trot. I mean, Cloud's pretty hot though. You can't blame her.
No, wait. Now you're sounding just like Jessie. That's a conversation she had with Biggs.
You mean Charlie Sheen?
Yeah,
Charlie Sheen.
Fat Charlie Sheen.
No, wait, that's Wedge.
Oh,
yeah,
that's Wedge.
Yeah, Biggs is just Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen from Platoon.
If you don't think that looks exactly like Charlie Sheen, okay, and sounds like him too. And then we got Badger.
Badger, right?
I had to save these cats.
Otherwise, yeah. That thing I was talking about, Adrian, where you sound like Jessie. You know, Biggs is like, Cloud's a real joy to work with, and she's like real joy to look at too. He's like, here we go. She's like, looks for what people notice first.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, hey, look, let's be real. We all noticed Tifa for looks.
I mean,
anyway,
I just want to know where she got their suspenders at. Okay,
Spencer's. Anyway,
Spencer's. Hopefully, you guys made the right decision and got to see Tifa in the blue dress. That's all I'm saying.
Duh.
I was gonna say, because what are the options there? There's like sporty, casual. I can't remember. She gives you like 3 options. Like, what should I wear tonight?
I did sporty.
Right.
But,
she looked like Chun-Li.
Hey, Cloud was a pretty girl in his dress.
He was, yeah.
That whole part was so over the top.
Oh, it was amazing.
I loved it.
I know they took it to the whole and they turned it into like a dancing minigame.
Yes,
and they kept doing really cheap like things with it to make it hard. It was like, God damn it! Oh.
Yeah, I just gotta say, like the
squat minigame,
the cross dressing, the dancing, the homoerotic squat challenge. That whole part of the game was top tier. But then it was followed up by some of the worst shit of the game. That just felt like fucking unnecessary padding, and there's like the sewer sequence. And
oh my god, that sewer sequence was like 5 minutes in the original game, and they turned it into like a fucking whole.
It was awful.
I will admit that's sewer. That
was the worst.
And you go through it 2 times. Like after you already went through and cleared it, you have to go through it again.
Not even once, but twice. Sorry, I was speaking like an anime.
They stretched out the sewer sequence into the train graveyard so much to pad the game. It drove me nuts. I would have been totally happy with him just cutting like.
I did like the train graveyard stuff though.
It was just
It was too much.
Like it was
it
was meaningless.
I mean I like the Trave. I like the train graveyard a lot better than I like the sewer sequence.
Yeah, the sewer sequence can suck a wang.
Yeah, but Doug, where your biggest issue came in with like not enough combat, mine in this game is 1,000% taking like the 6 to 8 hour Midgar sequence, making it like a 30+ hour game. There's just so much filler, so much padding. I think they could honestly cut like 7 to 10 hours.
I didn't know. Like, I honestly, like, before the game came out, when I heard it was just going to be Midgar, I was like, how the fuck are they making a whole game out of it?
I think it only took me 13 hours to beat. What the hell? 30 hours?
It did not take you 13 hours to beat this.
I'll have to look.
It took me like 30.
I don't know. It's been a long time.
It took me like 30+ hours to beat it.
Why'd you keep slacking off?
Yeah, but there's just...
That's in-game time, Mike, not real time.
I literally think... Like, listen, 20 fucking... I know, like, we live in the age of open world games where every game has to be, like, 50+ hours. But if you make this Midgar sequence...
JRPGs were way longer.
Well, they were, too. But if you just make this first Midgar sequence, like, 20 hours, 25 hours, I think it's going to be better for it, because you're cutting a lot of the bullshit out. And that's still a long game.
I did come to enjoy a lot of the aspects of what were added, but I also, at the same time, felt like they bloated up a lot of things unnecessarily to pad the runtime.
Yeah.
Like the train graveyard thing didn't need to be there. The fucking
Hell House was awesome, but
Hell.
I love
I can't believe they took a random enemy and turned it into like this whole thing.
Yeah, and it's like one of the hardest bosses in the game.
It was fucked up, yeah.
It
was like, why is the Hell House? Like, this is ridiculous.
One of the things I loved about this game is a lot of fight scenes with bosses is like if you started if it would drag on for too long, you'd get extra dialogue from characters.
Yeah,
like the one where they're fighting the Sentinel Scorpion.
Oh yeah, of course.
Bear's just like, damn it, this thing is tough, and Cloud's like, it wouldn't be much of a weapon if it went down easy. And Bear goes, don't compliment the giant scorpion.
Barrett's amazing. And the crazy thing is, I've seen him be like one of the most divisive parts about this game. There's some people that hate his voice acting and say it's like way too over the top. Of course, you have some people that say it's like racial stereotype.
It needs to be over the top.
Yes, I've heard that many times.
Character.
This is why I don't listen to people's opinions on the internet.
Yes,
you guys really got to stop doing that.
People's opinions on the internet are trash unless it comes from Culture Shock.
Yeah, exactly. No,
those guys.
I literally just read that kind of stuff because I like to get a pulse on what people are actually saying. Like that to me, that's ridiculous. But there are multiple people that say, "What a fucking racial stereotype of."
See, you have to take those and then cut it halfway. Take the seriousness and cut half of it out.
Yeah,
and you get their real opinion. Everyone on the internet just shoots so far in like an extreme that you have to like listen to what everyone's saying, and then the real opinion is somewhere in the middle.
So there's a middle ground there.
No, the middle ground that's what real people think is what's in the middle of what everything
Middle Earth.
saying.
Yeah, because you always have people on either extreme.
Yeah, and like most of the people that get that on the internet and argue are just pushing an extreme that is not a mirror of realistic opinions.
Yeah. So where the hell were we? I think we're pretty much I think we said our pieces about the battle system.
Yeah, you guys, yeah. I think the battle system's pretty good.
I do think it's good. A couple gripes I have with it. Flying enemies in this game fucking suck.
They were really tedious.
They were.
Barrett wasn't around.
Flying enemies in most games
suck. Most games suck. I was going to say that. Doug, you mean the flying enemies in this were Titus. It's Titus, not Titus. Titus.
God damn.
Party members, I think AI is kind of dumb as fuck in this game, which in a lot of games that is as well. You kind of have to go around and control each player.
Well, they gave you materia options. But
it didn't always work. At least for me.
I manually healed.
Yeah, see, that's the same way I was. Like, they got me killed more than one time just from being... Like, are you going to do something here? Are you just hanging out?
Yeah. I quickly learned right away that it's my fault if I don't tell them to do something.
I agree with that.
So I have to just do it or else I'm going to fail.
And then I think we said this on the last recording that didn't come out. And Doug, I don't think you experienced this.
Oh, sneak peek. We tried to do this recording months ago and lost the footage. So
we did.
This is our take two.
Doug, I think you said this wasn't a problem for you when I brought it up last time.
Yes.
The battle sequences. So many times you got like these little enemy cutscenes or just like one of the characters get bumped while you're trying to like cast cure or like this big attack and it just gets canceled and you fucking lose it.
Well, it's really annoying when you go to use your fucking limit break.
That's what I mean. Yeah, limit break,
Yeah.
and you just fucking lose it. Like you don't get to deal the damage, you don't get your bar back. It's just gone.
Yeah, I ran it out a couple times, but I quickly got a grasp of how like that was just going to be the case for the whole game.
Yeah.
So I just got in the habit of making sure to either use it earlier or later than I otherwise would have.
Right.
They were like, "You got your limit break? Awesome, use it." And then you go to use it, and they're like, haha, sorry, cutscene.
Yeah, like because that
You
that happened to me a few times early on, and then I realized like, okay, this is going to be how this whole game is, so I just got to hold it and wait for the cutscene.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
You're like, okay, this is the way we're going.
So it's not that I necessarily was happy that was the case. Just I accepted that was the case. And
Doug's like, yeah, I lost another limit break. I love this.
Greatest game ever.
That adds another 15 minutes to this fight. Woo. See, and if I would have had that music bumping, I wouldn't have.
You would have been fine with it. Yeah, and then lastly, like I like in this game, so many of these Final Fantasy games, including Final Fantasy X, which I love. You see, like the sword on the cover art, like Titus is carrying like the water sword, and you Titus, and you have Cloud with the fucking Buster sword. But in the original game, like you kind of replace those swords pretty fast in the game.
Hey, the Brotherhood gets upgraded in 10.
That's true, it does.
And it's still not better than the weapon you have at that point.
Right. But with the Buster sword in this game, if you do it right, you can really use the Buster sword like throughout the game.
Yeah, because of the way once you learn the ability of a weapon, you can just switch back.
I kind of like that.
I actually used the nail bat the most. It had the highest strength value.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of annoyed me that was the strongest fucking weapon in the game, hands bar none. But it wasn't even close.
Did you guys ever see the? You guys probably aren't familiar with the Angry Joe show. He does like video game reviews. Well, he did one. They did like a Dungeons and Dragons game. It's called like Dark Alliance or something like that.
Oh, those games are great.
No,
yeah, Dark Alliance.
He called that his worst game of 2020, whatever year it came out.
Oh, the new one. Trash.
Yes.
Yeah, trash.
But he was showing like the best armor for the archer class. Like just looks like there's green snot all over him. So they're showing them stream it. He's like, the other guy, he's Other Joe because they're both Joe. He's like, Other Joe, why are you wearing that ugly ass armor? He's like, it's the best. And it looks so fucking bad.
Have you guys ever heard of Donkey?
Donkey?
No.
Okay, he's like this YouTuber. He makes really fucking. He kind of does like reviews and streams and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's funny as fuck. And for Dark Souls 1, there's this armor set with this hat that just it's like this massive giant head thing. It looks stupid as fuck.
Right.
And in his video he's like, "Don't laugh at it. This helps. This helps. Don't laugh at it."
Oh my god, that's
this
great.
helps. Don't laugh at it. But yeah, it's just like, god damn it. It's what, that's how that feels to me. I didn't have the problem that you had where you got like slightly bumped and got knocked out of cast
all the time it happened to me.
Well, I would that just comes kind of down to if you're surrounded by enemies, don't try to cast stuff at the time. Move first.
Yeah, but I'm dumb. Mike's like, yeah, he is dumb.
This is the difference between like I run into this a lot with my friends when we're talking about video games. It's like I like take the time to reposition my characters before I do stuff. And it's like I just want to do it.
I just want to do the thing.
Part of doing the thing is
like,
I just want to
do this, man. Come on.
Like, you can't put a black mark against the game because you don't want to do what you gotta do.
I don't want to take 10 minutes to go out of my way to just open a chest.
Mike, let me zoom out for this one. Do it!
Oh, yeah.
Do it!
Thank you, Shia, for
I still
making
can't
an
believe
appearance.
Shia stole that from me.
Oh, he really did. That used to be Doug's advice for everything. Fucking do it!
And I just like get in your face and I'm like, just do it.
It's so funny. I'm just saying it's funny. You and Corey both had, to me, your advice to me when we were younger was always 2 words. Yours was, do it! Corey would always be like, fuck her.
Yeah. Corey always asks, did you fuck her?
Yeah. Did you fuck her? I'd be like, Corey, I really like this girl. Fuck her. I'm like, can I finish? Fuck her. Okay, so a lot of people had issues with this first game. We're kind of living in the open world, games right now. Like everything's open world. This one, this one to me,
like pseudo open world because you can't really explore anywhere.
It felt somewhat linear.
Actually, it's one of my biggest negatives of the game is anytime I tried to go explore something, the game was like, no, you can't go there. This isn't where you got to go. Shut up. Go this way.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck, game?
No. Yeah, but I mean, I think it works in the sense that Midgar in the original Final Fantasy VII isn't really as open as, like, the game opens up after Midgar.
Every Final Fantasy does that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's, like, this linear portion until the game becomes open.
So, like, with that being said, were you okay with Midgar kind of being linear, and do you think the second game in this series, do you think it's going to be more of like a full open world game? Do you think they're going to stick with this approach?
I personally have no problem with linear games if the story they're trying to tell benefits from it being a linear, like, on rails experience. That's fine to me. Like, I'm not somebody who, like, thinks every world has to be, like, I don't want every game to be the same as the last game I just played. I want it to be its own thing. So if it benefits the game to be, like, on rails and, like, direct guide you on where to go so it can tell its story to benefit its story, please just do that. Don't feel the need to fucking shoehorn in, like, climbing up towers and unlocking more of the map because Assassin's Creed fucking did it 75 times.
Assassin's Creed, Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man. So many games.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. If we harken back to the very beginning of the episode when I said my biggest complaint with modern games, for the love of God, stop making me climb towers and to unlock parts of the map. I don't care.
I don't care.
At least Spider-Man, you can get there.
Don't defend it, Mike. Don't defend the scorpion.
Spider-Man, don't. Nicely done. Don't defend the giant scorpion.
But yeah, like, I'm totally fine with the on rails experience. It's just there were a couple times where in the original FF7, and this also goes back to the fact that I'm playing it from the someone who was a fan of the original series perspective and not like a new player,
right?
Is there was like a secret item in this location, but in this version of the game, when you were like, there has to be like a callback here, a secret, you just couldn't even go there. There was an invisible wall saying, no, you can't go this way. I was like, God damn, they just missed so many opportunities to do little things like that for the people like me who were such big fans of the series.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like a small little, like, Easter egg here and there would have really benefited the experience.
Mike, any thoughts on the on rails compared to open world? Would you like to see the next game be more open world, or are you okay with?
I think with what you're saying with the original, like, Midgar was kind of more of a linear story in the original anyway.
Yeah. What's it called, Doug? Wall Market?
Wall Market, yeah.
I think that was done very well in this game.
Oh, yeah, the best part of the game.
Yep. All right, sorry, good.
I think that's probably, it's fine for this game. I didn't have any problems with it, personally, but then again, I didn't play the original until after the fact.
Yeah.
But I think I would be a little disappointed if the second one isn't a little bit more open world because, like you said, that's what happens in the original is
the game starts to
once
open
you get
up.
past Midgar, everything's a lot more open.
Well, it definitely gives you the illusion of an open world.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Maybe, because this game, people with JRPGs, they grind a lot. Most of them do anyway. And this game doesn't make that the easiest task to do, per se.
You can't, really.
Because, there are a lot of areas when you go through them. Not all of them, but there are a lot of areas when you go through them. The enemies are, you go through it, they're done.
Yeah.
They don't
every
come back.
Zone, in fact.
Yeah, it is.
And they do this really annoying thing where every time you are progressing through a zone, this bridge will break. This mechanism will no longer function. Some bullshit reason why you can't go back and explore or anything.
Yeah.
No, you're done there. Keep going.
My favorite is when you can't climb over a chair. There's a chair just blocking you from a path. You're like,
that's many video games.
That's the Resident Evil 2 remake approach. This path is blocked. You can't go this.
It's like, really? Because I could just walk right over that.
You mean I can't just
wheels,
kick this over?
It literally has a wheel right there.
In the very beginning of the game, when you go into the fucking gas station and there's that little cart, it's like, nope, can't go that way.
Leon's like, damn,
the wheels are locked, guys.
The wheels are locked.
God, fuck that game.
What?
It's
Resident Evil 2 Remake?
It's too scary. I can't play it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that game's fucking perfection.
No. Yeah, see, here, okay. You guys misunderstand. I love horror games, but I'm so immersed in them that I can't play them. I literally can't.
That surprises me.
Yeah,
They
I
terrify me.
can watch them. I can't play them.
I'm scary movies should do nothing for me. Scary video games, they scare my soul.
But Dead Space didn't work for you? It didn't scare you?
It's just jump scares.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
does.
atmosphere. It's Japanese horror is way better. It's atmospheric.
That's-
and-
Oh, yeah, agreed.
yeah.
I'm excited to see what this Calypso protocol brings to the table.
Oh, yeah, that comes out, like December 3rd or something?
Yeah.
By the time this
Yeah.
episode comes out, it will be out.
Yeah, like Dead Space. Okay, here's the thing. Dead Space, you're the monster. You have a gun that can just dismember and disfigure. It's like Doom. How can you be scared? They're scared of you, bro. Like,
Yeah, no, I
you
get
are
that.
the monster. You have a gun that can just destroy and dismember anything and everything.
It's like, wait, I'm supposed to be scared of you?
I'm gonna kill you.
They're looking at you like, oh, fuck.
God, we gotta stop him. The
I'm
last,
going to sing the Doom song
like,
now.
they-
Doom,
they
doom, doom, doom.
yeah, the last resistance has fallen. This guy can't be stopped. He's a monster, sir. We have to escape. We have to abandon the city.
Yeah, another one of my big gripes, like, speaking of the progression here, the linear kind of play, side quests kind of felt very typical RPG. Like, there was nothing that really felt special to this universe.
Some of them were fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a mini game in the DLC that I actually did all of because it was kind of fun, but it got real played out by the end as well. Yeah, there wasn't a lot going for the side quests and stuff. Like, I did almost all of them
Did you?
and regretted it because it's like only like a handful, and the only good ones are in Wall Market.
Yeah.
That was really the best part of the game. It had everything. Had
It
the
really
battle
did.
dungeon. Like, I did the battle dungeon minigame all the way to the end, and
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the side quests were just fucking like, hey, go kill these rats or go clean out these vents. Like, I'm like,
yeah. And I mostly did them just for the extra experience,
right.
since you couldn't grind. But some of them actually were funny. Like, then the rest
And-
were find the cats.
Find the cats.
Meow.
Yeah, it was definitely like, it didn't bother you too much at the beginning, but the back half of the game, you're like, fuck these side quests.
Yeah, why is it that every Final Fantasy-esque game requires you to find cats?
Cats are really fucking popular in Japan.
Yeah.
They love them. They love cats. They're everywhere.
What about fucking dogs? Dogs are cooler. Oh, except unless your name's Doug.
Unless your name's Doug.
Dogs are never
or
gonna be cooler.
or
than
dog's
cats.
friend. I mean, Doug's friend. I said dog's friend.
Dude, dogs are just not cooler.
You know,
They're just not.
that's why you put them together and you have a little cat dog.
I mean, that's just
Cat
like your
dog.
opinion, man.
Cat dog.
No.
It's almost like what you said was just your opinion.
Oh,
Damn.
wow! No one's ever thrown a Jeff Bridges logic back at him. Goddamn, that's deep. No, I'm the dude. You got the wrong guy, man. I'm the dude. So did they have a mode in this game? I can't remember. Did they have a mode in the remake with like more turn-based? Was that ever like a feature?
It's something called classic mode, but I didn't even try it, so I don't
I didn't
know
try it either.
exactly.
I heard
Like,
it's
Yeah,
like
no.
If a game's gonna do new things, I'm just gonna try to embrace the newness and not try to like force.
yeah.
I
the
agree
old
with our
ways.
buddy Barney Stinson. New is always better.
No,
Well,
And that's your Final Fantasy
even if it's
15.
not better, I'm still gonna give it a chance.
new is
I'm
always
gonna
better.
give-
So
I'm gonna like if they're gonna make a new game, I'm going to try it for what it is.
like
Like,
and
if
it's
I-
the way
If
it's
I
meant to
go
be
in
played.
and, if I go in and enable classic mode, that just means I'm ignoring the new experience. Before me.
Right.
I can
And-
just go play. Here's my big take that you're not going to hear from a lot of other classic fans is the classic game's still there. I can go play it anytime I want.
That's
It's not
true.
like they took it away from me. It's not gone.
I love the people like they ruined the game. No, that game still exists.
It will
This is a
always
different
be
one.
there.
Yeah, I own it. I could play it in five times at once right now. No issue.
Yeah, and like in the modern day, we all love turn-based, but with modern games, unless your name's Persona, it's hard to get a lot of like audiences into.
Octopath Traveler did really well. A lot of
I need to play
Square's
that. You told me to play that.
Square's learning. Well, the sequel's going to be coming out soon.
Right.
Square's learning that there is still a massive market for that classic style. They may have jumped the gun when they thought that they had to move away from it completely.
Okay.
People, especially in modern games, indie games are becoming like a big popular thing. Have become super popular because modern games are all trying to do like the same thing over and over again.
Oh yes, very
and
samey.
a lot of indie games embrace classic like gameplay archetypes and stuff. Like, so you got like the 2D platformers and like side scrolling stuff and turn-based combat and stuff really being prevalent in a lot of them, and they're really doing well.
Right.
So there's definitely a huge market for it, and even like younger kids and stuff are into it. It's just, I think it was just a lack of understanding of what people were getting bored of was tropes, not the gameplay, but different tropes and story beats and stuff like that were just becoming repetitive is what was really the driving point and what was killing parts of the industry in the day.
It's not like people were saying like fucking turn-based combat sucks.
Yeah, it was just the industry heads themselves who like thought, oh, this has to be the problem. This is why this isn't selling as well.
Right.
It's like,
we'll modernize our combat system.
You don't have to. You just got to make a compelling story and add hints and stuff that make it more. It doesn't have to just be he goes and I go. There can be different aspects to it that really, brighten it up.
Right. I mean, other than that, everything else I pretty much have to say involves story, because I feel like that's the biggest point of contention with this game is what they did to the story. So if you have something,
before we get to that, do you have anything you want to talk about in this game, Mike? Not story related?
No, I think we kind of talked about everything I already really wanted to talk about.
Okay.
My biggest thing about this game that I do love, and this is maybe me being a sucker for newer graphics, but the graphics in this game were so fucking well done that it makes it really easy to ignore a lot of the negatives, like such as like there's moments where it seems like you're watching a movie instead of playing a game.
Yeah,
and like just like some of the other minor things that you guys mentioned, like they just. I don't know how to explain. Me personally, I feel like they did such a phenomenal job with the updated graphics, making it almost its own kind of game. Which I guess, in perspective, because in a perspective, it is its own kind of game. It's a lot different than the original.
I mean, it's one of the prettiest games I've ever looked at. I will say I'm not someone who gives a fuck about graphics.
Right?
Like I just don't care. To me, it doesn't.
Here's a few things to Mike's point that maybe Doug will resonate with a little bit more. I feel like what they did with these graphics is exactly pretty much how I pictured all these characters in my head when I played the game back in the 90s, the 2000s.
Barrett was a Hulk.
They fucking nailed it.
Man. Except for Jesse. You didn't know.
Yeah, Jesse. I'm like, wait, that's not a dude.
Hey, that's a hot chick?
That's a hot chick. Hot chick with big boob.
One of my favorite Jesse moments is when they're doing that bike chase. And
she's like on Cloud's bike.
She's narrating. She's like, had the cold-eyed mercenary's heart suddenly began to melt. And Cloud's just like, nope.
Nope. And Cloud's he's a stronger man than I, turning down multiple invitations. Jesse was cool as fuck. Like Doug said, it's because she was kind of Tifa's character.
She was like Tifa light.
Tifa light.
If you pay attention to the way Tifa's character acts in the original game, you realize that because she doesn't act like that all the time in this one, they kind of make her. They kind of take some of her personal strength away and give it to...
They water Tifa down, and they
water down is the wrong term.
Yeah,
like it's not that they water it down. They just
tell me the right term.
Because I'm not saying that they changed her character a little bit. They didn't just. They didn't just.
Did they just make her more serious?
No, they made her kind of like more damsel-y, which really bothered me. And you see it in a lot of cutscenes where she's like, "Oh God," and then Cloud has to save her over and over. I'm like, this is not Tifa, yo.
Cloud's that boy.
No. Tifa. Then there were scenes where she like fucking axe kicks a goddamn dropping canister across the room. It's like she never needed Cloud to save her.
Right,
bro.
All the time.
And Tifa from the original game didn't need Cloud to save her.
No, she was a badass.
Yeah, and I hate.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yep.
When they
damsel in distress.
Fucking the most contentious Metroid game of all time is contentious because they take this Samus Aran, the badass bitch in the power suit that fucks everything up, and turned her into a damsel in distress. It's like, why do you do
What game was that?
At Metroid Other M.
I never played that.
Yeah, don't.
Wait, how the fuck does that work? Is she not the hero of the game? Like,
No, she is.
Oh.
but she has to be saved by her old captain.
Oh God.
She
I guess he's a guy.
loves.
Fuck that game. I never even played it, but fuck that game.
Yeah, it's like the second Wonder Woman movie. They take Wonder Woman, that badass Amazonian princess that decapitates motherfuckers and turns her into
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I hate when they fucking do that.
It's just like, God damn it.
Aside from the graphics and whatnot, the only other thing that I kind of really wanted to touch on that, Doug, you have a lot more knowledge about, because the last time we did this, you went really in depth with it and kind of opened my eyes up a little bit more, was the whole whisper thing.
Oh, yeah, this will be a good lead up to the final points you want to talk about then. The whispers, and you really have to be a fan of the original game to pick up on what's going on here.
Absolutely.
So every time they show up, at first you can't even see them. Only people that come in contact with an ancient have the ability to actually even see that they exist, which is a big point at the end of the game when you realize that Rufus can see them and nobody else could, and you got to wonder how the fuck he can, because that isn't explained in this game. And I don't think most people picked up on that little tidbit that he could see them and nobody else could.
I would say a lot of things aren't explained in this game. I'm curious, Mike, you said you enjoyed it, like never having played the original. I'm wondering if there's any, like, maybe you can't think of them right now. I'm just wondering if there were moments that were lost on you.
I think they hid those moments really well.
Yeah,
like, I didn't even pick up.
Yeah, I didn't really notice anything that threw me off.
Because he wouldn't even known what he's missing.
That's true.
And they wrote it in such a way that you wouldn't even question it if you didn't already know.
Yeah, I do think they hid them well.
So, but every time the whispers popped up, they only popped up in sequences that deviated from the original game's plotline.
Yes.
So what they represent is fate trying to keep things on rails, but you realize quickly that this game's story goes in a different direction. Every time the whispers pop up and you fight against them, you're actually changing. The story is changing, and you don't notice it at first, but later on it like becomes very evident if you know the original story.
Yep.
When a certain someone can't be stopped by them. He doesn't even like acknowledge them, basically.
Yeah, and the kind of one, I think the biggest like what the fuck moment for me in the entire game was centered around the whispers is when Sephiroth. I mean, we're doing spoilers on this podcast, so
yeah.
We're
Spoilers.
assuming you've played the game.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and haven't played the game and you're upset, fuck you.
Now that you're like an hour plus into this episode.
Yeah.
But when the fucking when Sephiroth kills Barrett, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I should have thought right away that the whispers were going to bring him back or whatever. But when in that moment, because the way this game goes, like, it changes things. Like, anything could happen. Aerith might live through all these games. Fucking Tifa might die. When he killed Barrett at first, my fucking jaw dropped.
Guys, what if Sephiroth is Cloud?
Oh my God. Corey, you care to elaborate?
It's the first time that somebody said that where... It's correct. And I don't know how to, but it's the other way around. It's more like, what if Cloud was a failed clone of Sephiroth? Memories of Zack. And
no, but yeah.
Get into that. The biggest thing for me is that Zack is still alive.
Yes. Oh my God. I was going to say, like, do you guys have a biggest what the fuck moment? Is yours the Zack?
Me, that was it. But I also played Crisis Core and and everything.
Mike, do you have any moment, the biggest moment that was?
He wouldn't even know who Zack was to have been like
that. But
is it? Fuck?
That's true. I guess there's nothing because he didn't know the original story.
No, it's just a normal, like, cool game to me.
Mike, did you think Barrett was dead when Sephiroth fucking stabbed through him?
I thought that the whispers were working with Sephiroth.
I was like,
okay.
I was thinking there's fucking no way because Barrett's the best character in the game.
Yeah.
See, I thought the whispers were like Sephiroth's will at first. I didn't realize it was the will of the planet trying to keep fate in line.
Yeah.
And at the end there, when they're surrounding the top, like the Shinra building, and just going nuts because Sephiroth pops up and he's not supposed to be there.
Yep.
And they're literally doing everything they can to try to halt him, and he doesn't even give a fuck. He just walks through them like they're not even there. It's like, oh Christ,
such a badass.
It almost makes you wonder if Sephiroth is aware that he's deviating from fate.
Oh, I think he knows.
You think that's going to be the thing?
Yeah, I think it definitely is because, like, I think
Sephiroth's actually going to be a good guy.
Would you say he's misunderstood?
He's clearly misunderstood.
I mean, Sephiroth was a good guy before he learned about his origin, and
Yeah,
but
he was the hero.
he was. Cloud wanted to be Sephiroth.
Everyone wanted to be Sephiroth.
That's true. Men wanted to be him. Women wanted to be with him. No, but Doug, I think that's definitely the thing, because I think at the end of the game, I think Sephiroth was like goading Cloud into chasing him so that he literally got your party to do his dirty work to get rid of the fucking Whisperers, because he saw a future where he loses to this like group of nobodies and he wants to change fate.
It makes me wonder if like this is the same Sephiroth that you actually beat in the original, somehow like getting a second shot.
Yeah. I almost feel like it's a Sephiroth from like another timeline. That's what I love. People fucking hate the ending of this game, and I fucking love it because it opens up so many possibilities.
I'm excited for it because I don't know what's gonna happen next.
They could easily fuck it up. I'm worried.
No, I'm fine. Like, it kind of allows me to be okay with the changes.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, they're acknowledging what came before it, and they're deviating from it in an interesting way without just being like, oh, it never happened. It's like they're accepting this all happened, but this time.
And they did it in such a clever way that a moment
they tied it directly into the plot. Really
and a moment that everybody's fucking waiting for is Aerith to die. But now that kind of Sephiroth has changed everything, she could die still, and I would be surprised again. Like, I would be like, oh my god, they did it.
Yeah, they've already hinted at the scene with her praying with Holy and stuff. Like, you already saw tidbits of it. And
Cloud kind of saw a vision, had like a tear roll down his cheek, and she says, like, Cloud, you can't fall in love with me. So it's like they've both kind of seen it. You know, he saw it as a vision. She, like, I don't know what, maybe
does it still happen? Because fate's already been changed.
Exactly. So does she die? Does fucking Tifa die? Like, what the fuck happens?
Is he holding Zack in his arms, loving?
I know. That's what I love about the ending. Like, I see people that wanted like a 1-for-1 remake with just better graphics. Maybe the biggest fault of this game is they called it remake instead of, you know, like a reimagining. They
should have called it like Final Fantasy VII Resurrection or something.
Final Fantasy VII Redux.
Yeah, but I love the fucking limitless possibilities now. They could do anything.
I find it really exciting as well.
I did, yeah.
Like my buddy Alex, he's just as big a fan of 7 as I am. Me and him were like, he was the one that I played 7 with every year after school
Alex.
Together. He doesn't listen to the podcast.
Don't be crazy.
But like, I actually had this conversation with him. He's one of those people that wanted it to be a 1-for-1 remake and was really upset that it wasn't.
A lot of people did, yeah.
And we like had this conversation. And he's like, "See, I don't." He's like, "I don't like that. I don't want them to change it." And yada yada. I was like, "See, I'm excited for it because it's new and everything."
And I mean, I could be excited either way because if they do the original story, they're gonna do it great. Yeah, but I kind of want to see something new.
I would have been happy with that, but since they gave me something new and they're making it interesting. Like, they could have failed. They could have fucked this up in so many ways at so many opportunities, but they haven't.
They still could.
Actually, like, oh yeah, they still could, but they haven't yet. And the way that they're opening things up to be new is so unique, and like I've never seen a game take that kind of chance. So I'm excited just because they're taking a chance in an industry where taking chances has been like a chronic issue where people just won't do it for so long.
Play it safe.
And they're taking a massive chance on such a fucking massive title.
On one of the most beloved games of all time.
Yeah, and so I have to respect that. Like, at first I thought they were just playing it safe, which is why the game was like, I was really disliking the game. I was like, oh my god. Such a fucking watered down, like,
it's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, now they're doing anything now it's but like, fucking playing it safe.
Alright, they're really going for it here. I can
Hell yeah, they are.
This. Sephiroth still gives me chills.
Sephiroth.
Best villain ever made.
He's a good guy.
Now, the thing about Sephiroth, let me say, because I don't know if we kept my first one in the recording. I love Sephiroth. He was one of my biggest issues here. Just because I feel like he was overused a little bit in this first game.
When he showed up at the very beginning, I was so confused.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. Cloud's obviously fucked up in the head in this game.
Yeah.
Where in the original game, like, they hinted at it, but you could never tell. And in this game, it's just clear as day that there's something very wrong with Cloud.
Absolutely.
Like, he is fucked in the head. Bad.
Sephiroth's not actually showing up. It's Cloud just having visions of him, right?
Is it?
I think so.
Is it, Mike?
Or I'm gonna let you in a secret. It's much more complicated.
Avril Lavigne wouldn't know what to do with this.
Yeah,
I know because you already said that Cloud was a failed copy of Sephiroth.
Mike, chill out. What you yelling for?
Yeah, like
it's all been done before.
It's not just that though. It's not just that. It's the Mako energy. The life is the life stream. The life stream and stuff. Yeah. It hasn't really been explained yet, and it gets really complex.
Yeah, they haven't even got into that.
The Earth itself is a living thing that has a will of its own.
It has a way to protect itself, and
there's all kinds of stuff, and there's a lot going on.
This game is like, that's what I'm like. This is the first game, and it's scratching the surface.
Yeah, there's too much.
This sounds like a cult.
It's like if they plan on making this a trilogy, they're really gonna have to cram the next 2 games. Like
if they're like, I've heard they're only trying to make this a 2.
No way, like a duology.
Way.
No fucking
way. The last
way.
thing I saw said 3 games.
I was gonna say it would be like 10%, 90% in the second game. There's no way they can do that.
I don't even want to explain it to you because it's just like they haven't even got close to getting there yet. So let it.
But they're gonna get there.
Enjoy it.
So the thing, so just the thing with Sephiroth, I see why like he was the final battle in this game.
Oh, he had to be.
He had to be. But
who's gonna be what would it have been that fucking
Hell House?
It was such a difficult fucking boss battle.
Hell
House. Cheese it. No, but I mean,
who was going to be the thing that chases you on the motorcycle thing at the end? Like, come on.
Which that sequence took so fucking long.
It was going to be the robot scorpion.
The robot scorpion. They're bringing him back.
Mike, that boss never comes back.
Spoiler. But
does Hell House come back?
No.
Here's a hell.
But if you play the original game, you can fight them all you want.
Absolutely.
It's just a random enemy that pops up.
And even if you hated this remake, they can't take the original game from you.
Yeah.
So calm down, people.
Yeah. Seriously. Like,
calm down, you aging millennials.
Chill the fuck out.
Yeah, like, seriously. Nothing irks me more than people that, like, cry about this shit.
It's so funny, because when we talk about something like this, like, I see myself on the other end of, like, properties I love, and I get so, like, outraged. And then when I talk about this, I'm like, chill the fuck out. You still have the original. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
I feel like you should take a little of that with you into
I should. Into other things I talk about.
Like when you watch a movie or something, it's like a remake.
I should.
We're the next Marvel movie you watch.
Chill out about it.
Yeah, how about you just chill?
Hey, we'll talk about Wakanda Forever. It was okay.
Yes, spoiler alert, we will be talking about Wakanda Forever here soon.
Doug won't. Well, maybe by the time. We'll see. No, so the thing with Sephiroth, I think he was used a little bit too much. And in the original Midgar, he was in maybe like 5-10% of that section, like if even, like in that whole portion of the game.
You didn't even see him.
No, that's what I mean. You didn't like. You saw like
his sword was you found present. You woke up in a cell in the Shinra building.
Yeah,
with a blood trail, with the door unlocked and a blood trail leading to the president of Shinra with his sword shoved through his back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually Sephiroth. You find out later it wasn't actually Sephiroth.
Right.
It was Cloud possessed, and he's the one that fucking murdered all those people.
That's why I say I think Cloud's actually going to be the bad guy of this whole series.
Cloud's not really
what
a
good
theory.
Guy. Yeah, well, and he's a fucking liar.
And Tifa deserves better. Damn
she does. She deserves us. Doug, you said at the beginning of this episode you're not a liar.
I know.
Damn it, Doug gets Tifa. Fuck.
Thank you.
No, but the thing is, I hope it doesn't come down to 3 or 4 games that they make, and Sephiroth is like the final battle in each one, because that will really take away the impact of his character. Like if you have to fight him as the final boss in the final game, and you fought him every game, like in the original, you don't fight him once until the end because you're not worth his fucking time. Like,
yeah, he like leaves like in the boat in Juno. He leaves, like a fucking portion of the cells of fucking Genova, and it turns into a monster, and you fight that, and shit like that.
Because you're a joke to him.
Yeah, it's like I can't even bother to. And then he makes you give him like the fucking ultimate weapon. And, like,
hell yeah,
you're so beneath him. He forces
the same way he makes you kill the fucking whispers in this game. You're doing his work for him,
and it isn't even a challenge for him to do. He could do it probably.
But I will say, fighting Sephiroth with Aerith in your party was so satisfying.
Yeah, it was different.
Knowing what you know. And then the final little image we see, like Doug, you talked about Zack being alive, and at least in one version of, in some world, Zack is alive. So
yeah, I was so confused.
Right, I was too.
He was supposed to be dead before this game takes place.
And then what do you make of like Aerith and him walking by each other and kind of like looking back? Do you think Aerith's seeing him? Do you think?
I think Aerith can see the other.
I do too.
Possibly. I think she's already knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Sephiroth does too. But
isn't Zack Cloud?
Huh?
Isn't Zack Cloud?
No.
No.
There's so much.
This story's convoluted.
Okay.
Listen, Kingdom Hearts isn't that complicated.
Okay. I'll give you a little tidbit here, because this isn't exactly something you're just told directly in the game, so you have to figure it out.
Doug, you do this, and then I have like one or two questions about Cloud and Zack, and then we'll wrap.
Cloud has all of Cloud's memories of being Soldier First Class are all false. Him and Zack were captured and experimented on by Hojo in but they escaped. Well, Zack escaped, and Cloud was all fucked up, and he carried Cloud on his back the whole way back to Midgar. And then they were stopped by guards, and Zack gave his life protecting him. And Zack was the one that actually wielded the Buster Sword. And Cloud woke up after it all and picked up the sword and thought he was the Soldier and walked into Midgar, which is where the game starts. He just he was never a soldier first. He was never one of the grunts with a gun.
Yep.
So he thinks he's Zack.
Yeah, he actually, all of his memories and stuff are fucked up. He thinks he's Zack. His memories are mixed between his own and Zack's, and he can't. That's why he's constantly clutching his head and getting confused.
Yeah, Mike, he was Finn getting hit on the head thinking he was Kylo Ren. He wasn't shit. He was a janitor.
Yeah, literally, he thought, he thinks he's this, and he's living up to it somehow.
Yeah.
Because he was experimented on, but he was
and he stabbed through a Sephiroth, right, with the sword.
I was gonna say, he's living up to it because he's a failed clone of Sephiroth.
See, Sephiroth's also already dead, so yeah,
it's what is happening?
Which harkens back to the whole life stream and the planet being alive thing.
Yep, making energy.
So much to go on. Yeah, Sephiroth is so amazing that he learned how to travel
If you go to Wikipedia and search Red 13, you'll get all your answers.
But yeah, that's 1% of the complications of the game I just explained to you.
That's why, Mike, there's no way this can only be 2 or 3. This has to be 12 games at this pace.
Yeah, this is one of the most complicated and deep
to get the whole remake story. It's going to cost you $700.
Before Adrian asks his question about Zack and Cloud, let me ask you the guys this. Do you think that they released this game earlier than they wanted to because too many people were wondering where the fuck it was?
No.
I don't either. I think they told the story they wanted to tell with the first
guy
game.
That's in charge of this game doesn't he put off Kingdom Hearts 3 for 15 years to the point where they gave up and someone else has to finish this game. He's like, it's not coming out. If it's going to be my vision, it's not coming out yet. And they're like, fuck it. We have to just get this out.
And they're like, fuck Kingdom Hearts 3.
This guy we saw what came of that.
This guy don't rush, and he won't rush, and there's no one else that can tell this story. So,
yep. Okay, I guess just in conclusion, so Mike, I don't know if you really answered. Were you happy with the way the story ended, with the whispers and fighting Sephiroth? And yeah, okay. It was awesome.
Overall, I was really satisfied with the game. So yeah, this game I would say was.
I was really satisfied with how much of a badass they made us know Sephiroth is right out the gate.
Yes,
how fate itself couldn't even stop him.
And when he came just floating down to the ground, and they played that fucking one-winged angel, and I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, there's no way we're facing him. It's kind of
you are.
Spoilers for people who haven't played Jedi Fallen Order, but it's the same way. At the end when you're Cal Kisto and you're face to face with Darth Vader with a lightsaber, you're like, no, and then his health bar comes up, you're like, what the fuck? This is bullshit.
And then you die.
No, spoiler, you run away from him, but
Today I learned.
Today I learned. Darth Vader says, you would be wise to surrender. And he says, yeah, probably. Last couple questions. if Zack is integrated in the story, which it's looking like, he's gonna be, whatever the second game, what's the second one called? Rebirth,
Sure.
I think, and is that a nod to Zack? Rebirth?
See, I'm really confused because the love triangles get way more complicated.
Yeah, it
Tifa
is.
and Aerith both were in love with Zack.
Yes, they were. See, that's why they got. There we go. A love square. And then Jesse's gonna come back from the dead and be like, "I still love you, Cloud." And she's like, "Ooh, who's Zack?" She's like, "Who's this, Zack?"
So then it's a love pentagon.
No, Jesse would come back and be like, "I've always loved you," and only Claudia, shut up! I'm trying to talk to you.
Yeah, the second part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII remake is titled Rebirth.
Okay.
Rebirth. Yep.
Yeah,
Which is coming to PlayStation 5 next winter. So that means it could be late 2023 or early 2024.
That name alone, Rebirth, just has like so many thoughts in my head.
Well, yeah, the picture right beside it is Zack holding Cloud. So
how about that? So my last couple things, just real quick. A, if Zack going forward is in these games, do you want him to be a playable character? And B, do you think we're going to have any interactions between Cloud and Zack, or do you think they exist in like separate timelines?
I see the implications from the end of the very end of this game. It's so hard to tell if it's showing us two separate like universes, multiverses at the same time.
Because Cloud and him cross paths, but like Cloud doesn't acknowledge him, so it's like two different.
But Aerith does.
What if it's a Witcher thing where they're like showing two different timelines, like two different? Like,
that's a possibility.
See,
yeah,
I thought that's what it was until Zack looked over the cliffside and saw the Shinra building swarming with Fate.
Oh, true, yeah.
Which was like, oh, okay, no, this is happening right now. Also, you really have to play the Yuffie DLC because there are
I do need to do
story beats that explain some of the stuff because it gives a perspective of other characters during story beats from the base
story
game.
Beats, like beats by Dr. Dre.
Story beats by Dr. Dre.
You don't gotta try to force a one-liner into everything. Like
Mike, your joke last week for Breaking Bad. I said, Mike, God damn it. Doug's like, just let Adrian get through this. No jokes. Mike said, "Oh, that's what Mike said." Waldo's dipping sticks. I said, "Mike, fucking." Okay, Doug. So Zack as a playable character, would you like to see it? Do you want him to? I know it's hard. I know it's hard to answer, but
I don't see how he'd be any different from Cloud.
Right.
And like he was the character that you played as in Crisis Core. He was the character.
Right.
And guess what? He swings a sword and uses materia.
How about that?
In fact,
So
he even wears the same outfit as Cloud.
He is. And then, do you think we're going to get any interactions between the two? Because I don't know how Cloud would handle that. His mind's already fucked.
I think it's going to be Cloud's push into being the villain.
I don't know what direction they're going. Mike, do you really think Cloud might be the villain?
You never know. They're changing the story, man. Who knows what they're going to do?
Do you honestly think that, or are you just saying that?
It's like a 50-50, honestly.
Why?
Why?
Because, I think with everything that I do know, it's kind of like a twist that nobody would see coming.
I mean, that would definitely throw some people.
I mean,
a lot of people would hate it.
It would be a twist nobody sees coming. I'm wondering what you're basing that on. Like,
what is it that's?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to understand why you're.
He's fucked in the head.
He's fucked in the head. He's not exactly. I get that his character development. He kind of starts showing that he has a little bit of a heart towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
But he's not a good person by any means.
Like no main character in Final Fantasy other than like Titus is really a good person.
Wait, you thought Titus is a a good person?
Titus is a good person.
He's full of himself and like
at the beginning he is. It's called character development.
Dude. Being confident confidence doesn't make you a bad person. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no, but that's why
he believes in himself. He's such a bad guy. It's like, come
such
on,
a dick.
To anybody that made it to the end of this episode, this is what has some people like me and Doug, it sounds like too, so fucking excited. If this was a 1-for-1 remake, like what's coming. We're just waiting for the next version of a graphical enhancement.
I'm stoked.
Like we don't know what the fuck is coming. We're speculating about it.
I don't know. Like I honestly, I think I would really like to see Cloud and Zack have. So I'll give you my theory is right now.
Please.
I believe that these are two separate universes, but they're converging. Like they're clashing, which is why Fate is having to intervene.
That would explain why Sephiroth was in the game so early.
Exactly.
Right.
And why he seems to be, him and Aerith both seem to be aware of what's supposed to happen next, and they're trying to like work towards he's trying to work to stop it, and she's trying to work to keep it happening. So she's like already aware that she's supposed to die.
Yes. Oh, yeah, she definitely is.
And she's pushing in that direction. That's why she gives like that big speech about, I need your guys' help. We have to stop this. Like, I know what's coming next, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, you think Aerith doesn't want to mess with fate and she like is accepting that she has to die, or she doesn't want to die?
She's accepting it because that's kind of character.
I could say that.
She is.
Like she told Cloud, like, you can't fall in love with me.
Like, she knows that in order for like for things to go correctly and to save the world and stop Sephiroth, she has to die. And
she has to die.
And she's the kind of person that would make that choice.
And it's going to hit so much harder because we won't necessarily see it coming.
Exactly.
That's the way they change things.
And it might not happen.
And it might not happen.
Thing. Like,
Tifa might get a fucking knife in the back.
Or something. Oh my god.
Cloud might kill her.
He said, don't even. If Tifa dies, I'm breaking the game.
I'll probably stop playing.
We're going to start sounding like Walking Dead fans. If Tifa dies, we riot.
It's like when people took out The Last of Us 2 and broke it in half. Like, that's what I'll do with the new Final Fantasy.
Yeah. But so I think these basically the worlds are converging, which is why we saw like that when Zack and Cloud both were crossing the path at the same time, and Aerith seemed to be aware of it, like she could feel it.
Yes.
But nobody else could, and I think that ties back to her because she's an ancient. She can hear the voice of the planet and everything. So
yeah,
it's
that
like
makes sense.
basically speaking to her and telling her something's fucked up here.
I like that.
Things are really going. But that's my thought. Is like there's a convergence between these two different universes or timelines, however you want to look at it. And that's why things are going awry, because they're mixing and they shouldn't be.
Well, I absolutely don't have a theory better than that, so I'm not going to try.
That sounds like a pretty good theory.
But hey,
Thank you.
Did you ever see the YouTube guy? But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
Okay, Matt.
Right? I love that dude.
I used to.
Yeah, I mean, I've fallen off him too, but I used to love a game theory. I guess. Do you guys have anything else, or?
I think I hit everything.
No, you killed it with that final theory. I think that's a good way to end. Well, Doug, I guess you're the host, so you want to ask Mike if he has something?
Mike, do you have anything going on outside of this?
I'm just starting to try to dabble back into Twitch a little.
Magic Mike's back.
I'm not gonna say that like it's a consistent thing right now, but hey, there's 2 videos there right now of me streaming Super Mario RPG, Legend of the 7 Stars. So
wait, is there really?
The VODs are there.
Yeah, there is. You should go check that out.
How recently did you stream?
Like a week or 2 ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, good shit.
It's 2 days in a row even.
Did you update your Discord?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you? Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're sounds like you're doing content more frequently than I am now.
Oh yeah, where's your content at?
To check out my extremely old content, I swear, people, I do have stuff coming down the pipeline. Okay, I'm working a lot. Okay, get off my back.
It's the holidays.
It's the holidays. I'm gaining weight. I'm working too much.
Well, speaking of gaining weight, I have to really do something. I have gained so much weight.
He said, I got to do something. But you can check me out, Baker Reviews. My last video continues to be the Halloween Ends review. I will be coming out with some other stuff. I have like 6 scripts written down. I just have to fucking sit down in front of a camera, record, and edit. But you can check out all my previous videos on Baker Reviews on YouTube, and eventually I'll be uploading some new stuff. It's the holidays, guys.
Baker Reviews.
Stop using that as an excuse. You just like to go get drunk at the bar.
Hey! Mike, thank you as always for being my hype man.
Uno mas.
Absolutely.
Uno mas.
All right, so I think that's going to about do it for this episode. If you liked what you heard, you can probably check us out at some Twitter page.
Oh, fuck.
Corey, where can they check us out?
Yeah, Corey.
Corey?
Hey, they can check us out at CS Podcast 21 at Twitter, something on Instagram, and I don't know, Facebook.
We're just culture shocked on Facebook.
Doug, that was a great fucking impression of Corey. Guys, check us out at CS Podcast 21 on Twitter, Culture Shocked on Facebook, something on Instagram. Please rate and review us 5 stars. Let us know
wherever you get your podcasts.
wherever you get your podcasts.
But
Thank
please,
you very much.
most of the work is done on Twitter. That's where Corey keeps track of the
It's
socials
true.
the most.
Apparently, that's where he does most of his work or some
yeah,
shit.
that's at
Whatever he
least that's what
says.
tells
No,
us.
it's true because I follow and post a lot of shit.
Yeah,
and
but if you
retweet.
could, please come on there and talk to us. He enjoys it. We like hearing about it, and we'd love to interact with you more so we know what kind of content you want us to put out. Give us your thoughts, share your opinions. Tell us if you like where Cloud's going. Is Tifa or Aerith the better girl? You tell us.
Tifa. Wait, not Tifa. Tifa.
Tifa.
Do you notice how I've said it both ways?
You're throwing me the fuck off. Titus. Titus is the best final girl.
Titus.
Titus is best girl. This is the waifu.
Waifu.
Anyway, from all
Wow. Hold on.
Okay.
We made
what?
it almost 2 hours without saying waifu. Good job, Doug.
I had to get
Right
it
at the end.
I know, I had to get it in. Anyway, I think that's going to about do it for us. From all of us at Culture Shock, thanks for listening.
Red 13.
Dun, 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 dun.